Hello. Wouldn't have to look at my camper if you if I had a virtual background. I should totally do that. I was telling Allie before when we were getting this kind of training set up for you guys. I was like, I'm the Kajabi spokesperson right now because I am working from a camper traveling all over the country. So if you guys are wondering what's going on behind me, I kicked my family out and I'm really in a camper in Goodlettsville, Tennessee at the moment. So
Whoa. See, that's like the definition of a knowledge entrepreneur that you can just hit the road, do your thing, and still be making money, which I love.
yes, totally. Totally. So that is what today is all about. Excellent segue. All right, I'm just going to see how many people are here. I think we're just going to get started. Okay, I have to pull up my outline, and the people that have been on webinars with me before know that it's all about the outline always. So let me pull that up. And can anyone just confirm that you can see both of us? You can see Allie, you can see me, and you can hear us. Maybe that would be good. Just post in the chat. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Megan. Awesome. So here's how today is going to go. Allie is super knowledgeable, all things Kajabi. She is going to teach us amazing, amazing tricks about setting up a marketing funnel called a pipeline in Kajabi. I'm going to kind of talk about why a marketing funnel. I'm going to talk about what a marketing funnel is, some strategy behind that. And then Allie's going to show us how you actually execute this in record time using Kajabi because it's all templated and beautiful and you'll never have to wonder what to say, but we're going to get to that in a second. So I'm going to let Allie introduce herself in a second. Let me just say I put in the chat a link to, and you guys, if you're watching this as a recording, somewhere below this video will be a button for you. But for those that are here live, I put in a link that goes to a 28-day free trial with Kajabi, which is what we're going to be talking about today. It's the software that I love, that Allie works for, we're going to talk about all day. But you can try it for free for 28 days through my partner link. And there are also some other cool bonuses like a free course you get and some ongoing office hours and more sessions like this with me if you're interested. So I know some of you that are here are already Kajabi users, you know how that works, but if you haven't started it yet and you want, a month to test it out, there's a link for you here. Okay, so Allie, while I pull up the outline, do you want to just tell everyone who you are?
Yes, yes. I love this. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to it for a couple of weeks now, ever since we talked. But for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, and I wish I could see all your faces. I'm like such a visual person, so it feels weird not to know who I'm talking to. But my name is Allie, and I am the director of brand experience here at Kajabi. We are, like Andrea said, we are a software company. We are a all-in-one online business platform that allows knowledge entrepreneurs who are running online courses and membership sites and any type of digital product under the sun that you can think about. We allow you guys to get that up online and up and running with less tech headache, less tech stress, and hopefully a lot more fun within the process. So at Kajabi, I work on the marketing team. I've been here for 3 years, which is just absolutely bananas. Like, I can't believe that it's been that long. And when I started at Kajabi, just to give you a little inside information about the company, there was only 30 people, and I was the third woman here on the team, which was really, really cool. Yeah, it was a unique experience. And now, especially in the age of COVID and just the craziness that has been 2020, we've grown exponentially because, as you guys can imagine, as you are here to learn about, lots of people are going online. Lots of people want to start online businesses and travel around the world in their camper, and be able to run it all smoothly. And so we've grown exponentially. We now have almost 200 employees, which is just insane. And so I'm really excited to talk to you guys. I'm really excited to dive into the tech and show you behind the scenes of, like, how do you even do this in Kajabi? It's one thing to talk about how easy it is to build your business online, but it's another thing to actually do it. And so I want everyone here to know that you do not need to be a tech wizard to use Kajabi. You don't need to be a tech wizard to get an online business or an online course up and running. And it's probably like even fun if you're not a tech wizard, because you get to discover and you get to explore. And so that's what we're going to dive into today. We'll get into the tech, and you'll see that it's really not as scary as some people say it is.
Yes.
And hopefully you'll leave them a little bit more confident.
Totally. Okay, I echo all of that. It doesn't have to be scary. It can actually, gasp, be fun. Could that be true? What? I know. You guys, you're going to absolutely love it. So if you have questions as we're going through this, again, I'm going to talk a little bit, but then Allie's going to just show us exactly how easy this is, which is super cool. She is way more knowledgeable than I am. So I'm really excited for that. But you can post any questions that you have in the Q&A box, and that will come just to Allie and I. So I'll kind of be watching that while she's talking to us. And then at the end, we'll go through any questions that you guys specifically have. So I know sometimes the chat kind of gets going and then we can't keep up with that. But if you have a question that you really want answered, put it in the Q&A, and then she and I will be able to go through that.
Yeah,
so
and really quickly,
go ahead.
yeah, I would just love to ask if everyone who's watching, like, can you put who you are and where you're tuning in from? And if you're a Kajabi user or you're just here to learn, like, put it in the chat. I want to know who I'm talking to. Like I said, I feel like I'm not talking to anyone. So would love to interact with you guys in the chat as Andrea is going through her stuff.
Well, yes, such a good idea. Okay, so the all-knowing outline comes out. What is a sales funnel? We want to really specifically talk about sales funnels today because this is a mystical thing that we throw around the term. I know, honestly, when I was starting my online business, which wasn't really that long ago, I didn't know what a funnel was, and I had to Google what is a funnel, and it was very confusing with this term that people throw around, and I didn't know what it was. So a funnel is just basically telling your prospective customers what the next step is for them, and that's my definition. A funnel is just taking people through the next step of the process, and then the next step and the next step, so that they know what to do and you know how to lead them down the trail of breadcrumbs to a sale, which is obviously why we're all here, is to have a business that sells things that makes money, that makes an impact in the world. So a funnel is just the way to do that. Kajabi calls it a pipeline instead of a funnel. And Allie, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that because we don't want it to get smaller at the bottom? We want people to just keep progressing forever. Is that true?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, we see it more as a journey for your customer to go on, as opposed to, you know, getting all the people in and then only converting a small amount of those people. It's more of a life cycle.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so really what we want to do is we want to automate that. We want to set it up, we want to automate it, and then tweak and iterate as we go in our business, and we figure out what's working, what could be working a little bit better. And that's a really cool thing about Kajabi. And I know that Allie's going to show us about this, is that you can just at a snapshot really easily and simply see your stats on what's working in your pipeline and what isn't working, so that you know what to tweak. And I want to, before we even get into anything else, I just want to say that probably the reason funnels seem so scary to us, or why it's like this thing that seems like only for really advanced people, is because we have a feeling like that it either works or it doesn't. And really, I just want to tell you guys, it's just a game. It's just a matter of throwing something together, trying, and then testing and looking at what works. Let the data tell you, like, oh, this page isn't working very well, but the rest of it's doing great. And Allie's going to show us how to do that. Super easy. But don't think this is a pass fail thing. I see that a lot, especially with my members that are like, my funnel isn't working, but really it's probably just one thing that could get tweaked. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Super high level here, though. A funnel is going to help build your email list. It's going to help you connect with people in an automated way. And like Allie said, like, bring them on a journey with you and your business, what you stand for, who you are, introduce them to the products that you have for sale, and then obviously sell them. So we want to get this working very quickly. We want to make it simple, because the more simple it is for you to set up your pipeline, the more simple it's going to be for your customers to go through it and to be converted into customers. If you make it really confusing and hard, it's going to feel confusing and hard to your prospective clients as well. So we don't want that. We want it to be really, really simple. And I know that this gets frustrating for many people, because I have felt like this, but I know a lot of my members have as well, feeling like it's hard to get all of the pieces to talk to each other, to get your website to talk to your email service provider, to deliver a PDF, to then take payments, and then have a separate component that delivers your courses or delivers your coaching program or membership. All of that can be very overwhelming, which is why we love Kajabi, because it's all in one place, but we'll get to that. Another reason why this can kind of go sideways is if you just don't know what to say. If you just don't know what to say in your emails, or you just don't know what to say on your sales page, or you just don't know what the homepage of your website should even be structured like, then that can just be, a moment where you just want to put your head in the sand and not even try, because you don't know what to say. So if that is you, if you're like, I don't even know what the copy should look like or where the pictures should go, you are going to love Kajabi, because it's all templated and beautiful. Of course, you can customize if you want to, but really good starting point. And Allie's going to show us that too. So that's another thing that I know people have a lot of trouble just figuring out, what do I even say in this marketing? Or you're not a graphic designer like I'm not, like most of us aren't, and you just don't know how to make it look good. Again, templates are our friend, okay? So we have that covered too. Or, and I already touched on this, but I just want to circle back to it one more time. When things aren't working, you want to scrap the whole thing and just be like, this doesn't work. Like, I'm just not building my email list, or I just can't sell online, or my emails don't work, or anything like that. You want to scrap the whole thing and start over. But really, it's usually just a few tweaks. And it's going to be really easy for you within Kajabi and with the tools that Allie's going to show us in a second, how to figure out what things need to get tweaked. So very excited about that. Is there anything I forgot that you're thinking of, Allie? Just I'm going to check in with you quick as I keep going.
No, I think that's all great. I think it's so smart to get really clear on what you're trying to do, especially within technology, not just with Kajabi in general, but with technology at large, is just like really come in with a plan and a thought process, and
Yeah.
then execute on it. And don't get bogged down in the details if it doesn't go exactly as planned or whatever. You can continue to iterate. That's the beauty of online business.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good segue. So, what you want to focus on in your funnel, pipeline, whatever you want to call it, is one thing that's for sale. And so this is another place where I could see it go really sideways. And I myself have struggled with this, and I know a lot of other people have too. So I'm just going to put it out there. You want your funnel, your pipeline, to take your customer on a journey to one destination. One thing. What is the one thing that you want them to do? And you can have multiple pipelines going. You can have multiple, but for each one, you want to have one core action that you're bringing them towards. Is it getting on your email list? Is it booking a consult call with you if you sell one-on-one coaching or packages? Is it buying your online course? Is it signing up for your membership site? Is it buying your ebook? Like, what is the one thing that you want someone to do? And then you're going to craft your pipeline to bring them along that journey to this one destination. That's the best news of the day. Keep it very simple and have one thing that you want them to do via emails. You're going to be sending, and we're going to show you how you do this. Very simple, but you're going to have your website, your landing pages, your emails, your buttons, your reminders, like all roads are going to lead to one Rome. Keep that in mind. Don't try to take your potential email subscriber or website visitor on a choose your own adventure and just introduce them to every way that you could help them or everything that you have for sale. That's when things get really confusing. And that's why a pipeline is really, really helpful, because it's going to constrain your focus to just one thing. Everyone say it with me. One thing.
One thing.
One thing, just one thing. But like I said, that could be lots of things. Maybe it's getting on your email list, like downloading a freebie. We're all pretty familiar with the standard pipeline, which would be downloading a PDF or something for free in exchange for an email address. And then you are going to email them that free thing that they just got and send some automated emails that introduce them to you and the rest of your business and what you have to offer, lead to a bigger sale down the road. That's probably what we'll end up talking about today, Allie, I think, right? We're going to do a pipeline for that. So that's pretty standard, but it doesn't mean that you have to only think of your funnels or your pipelines in terms of a freebie PDF. It could be the thing that you want them to do is to book a call with you or fill out an application form for a consult call, something like that. Like, think outside the box a little bit on what it is that you want someone to do when they get to your website. And that's what you're going to create your pipeline around. So components of a good pipeline would be, like I said, one call to action, but also have everything be cohesive and letting them know what the next step is going to be. So you really can't over communicate with someone who's new to you and new to your business about what the next step is. You want to reiterate these points like in multiple points along the way. You want to tell them what the next step is. And that's kind of what your pipeline is going to do. It's going to sell them on the next step in the journey. So at first, you're going to have a landing page. In the example we used about a lead magnet, you would have a landing page that just is selling them on giving their email address to get your free thing, like whatever that is. That's the purpose of that stage of the pipeline, to get them to the next step. Then that step is the next after that, after they've done that, the next stage is going to sell them on actually opening up that email and reading the free thing that they got, or devouring in whatever way the content that they just got from you, then that content is going to push them to the next stage of the pipeline, which is probably to look at a sales page, to book a call, to see whatever it is that you want them to be ultimately purchasing or making a decision on, while opening up more of your emails, kind of conditioning them to open these emails and to reach out to you with any questions. So you just are always trying to sell them on the next step of the pipeline. And if you're thinking of it from a customer standpoint, that usually will simplify things quite a bit. So that's a really good pipeline, is one that is just very simple and over communicates what the next step is multiple times, so that your potential buyer knows exactly what they're supposed to do next. Because a confused mind does not want to buy. A confused mind thinks, oh, I better come and read this again later. Like, I better think about this and figure it out later. And they don't actually do the thing. So we want to always keep it super simple about what the next step is, and let ourselves off the hook on it trying to be perfect right away. I know I've said this multiple times, but I just want to reiterate that it'll never be perfect, but you'll never know what perfect is until you start testing and trying. So just give yourself freedom to put a funnel together, try one of the pipelines from Kajabi because they're super easy. We're going to see that in a second, and just play with it and just try. And you might sell some stuff and just totally blow your own mind, which is my hope for you. Did I miss anything there, Allie, that you could want to add?
No, I think that was perfect.
All right. So at the end of the day, you're going to just let the data that you get from testing something out show you what's working, what's not working, and what to change and what to tweak. So I think that might be a good segue for you, Allie, if you want to show us kind of what we're talking about when we say looking at stats and putting a pipeline together with these beautiful templates. You want to show us what that looks like?
Yeah, for sure. Can I start sharing my screen?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
good? Okay. Oh, I have to request access. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Host is the worst. Let's see. Okay, are you good?
Let's see. There we go. Yes. Okay. I always have trouble locating the screen I need to share. All right. Can you guys dashboard?
Yes.
Everything on here? Okay, good.
Yep.
Let me also pull up the Q&A and the chat so that I have that readily available. Amazing. All right. So here we are inside the dashboard. Now, I can't tell if you guys can see my comments in the chat because I think I was sending them to panelists at one point and not attendees. So I switched that on. I can see your chats though. So please tell me as I'm going along the way if you need me to go over it again, if you have a specific question on an area, if you want me to dive deeper on an area. There's a lot of Kajabi users here on this call, and then obviously people who are watching in the future. I don't know if you're a user or not, so I'll kind of go over the high level of the inside of Kajabi. There were a couple of you who said you've just started. One person said they've been on Kajabi for 10 days, so welcome to the Kajabi family. And I'll go over high level, and then I'll dive in specifically to pipelines. So that's what this session is going to be all about, is specifically pipelines. And I'm going to do everything with the assumption that you have created both a product inside of Kajabi and an offer inside of Kajabi. So product meaning the thing that you're going to sell, and an offer is how you're selling it. So if you have not created those two things, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you go to our help center. It's just learn.kajabi.com. Look up how to create a product, look up how to create an offer, and get those two things in place before you dive into a pipeline. Those are kind of two things you'll need prior to building out your pipeline, right? We need to have something to sell. So cool. This is Kajabi. You can see here, this is just our main dashboards. We have a lot going on here. It is our 10-year anniversary this month. So, or actually it was last month in October. I can't believe it's November already. But 10-year anniversary of Kajabi. So we have been around for quite a while, which is something kind of fun, just a little insider tip. So here's our dashboard. We have lots and lots and lots of resources here available for you. We have trainings, we have, Kajabi University, which is a bunch of courses you can go through at your own pace to really dive deeper into the product. Like I said, I'm going to go over a high level of what Kajabi is and then dive into the pipeline specifically. So I want to go through these side tabs. Is kind of the way that I always share about Kajabi to those who are just starting out, to really give you like a holistic, like, I get this question a lot. Are you really an all-in-one? Like, do you really do it all? And the answer is yes, we do. And so I'll go through these 4 main tabs that we have within the product, which you'll see here mirror this sidebar right here. I just kind of expanded it so you could see all of the different goodies in there. So first and foremost, we have websites. Websites are the forward-facing external thing of your business, right? It's ally.com. It's where I send people to go check out who I am, learn more about me. And we have the ability to build a website in Kajabi. We also have the ability to build landing pages, which is going to be your sales pages, your about me pages, really any page that you want to build on your website, you can build within Kajabi. We also have blog functionality. So if you want to create a blog and create content and continue to produce content, that's a great way to do it. And we have your analytics, which is going to go deeper into what's happening in your business. You can track member progress through different products. You can track if you're doing like a membership site and you want to track metrics that are specific to membership sites, we have those in there. So like recurring revenue and things like that will happen when you have a subscription service. All of those reports will live under analytics. The next tab we have is products. So products is obviously what you're selling. It's a digital product. So it's either courses or membership sites, any type of digital download, any type of product that you want to put up as an offer on your website and in your business, you would create here. And then we have offers. So we think of offers as completely separate from products. So this is a little bit different of a philosophy, and I'll explain why. It makes it actually a little bit more customizable in your business. So you create a product, and then you create an offer. And the reason why these two things don't live together, meaning you don't create a course and say it's $25 for this course and that's how it is. That's the price on that course. We don't operate that way. We operate under products and offers. And so when you create a product, you actually have to attach an offer to it. And the offer can be any price tag you want. So let's say my product is, building or how to be a photographer, right? That's my course, is how to be a photographer. And I want to create an offer for that course that's $100. And that's going to be my flagship product that I offer at all times. It's $100 to take this course. I can create that offer. Then let's say Black Friday rolls around and I want to do a special promotion and I want to discount that product. Well, instead of having just one price point on my product at all times, I can now create another offer that's maybe $50 and it's 50% off for Black Friday. And it's a limited time offer that I'm going to attach to this product. Then once Black Friday is done, I just turn off that offer and the $100 offer is still attached to that product running as normal. So it's kind of just a way for you to be able to customize it so that one product isn't always tied to one specific price tag. That is like a very high level overview of what offers are. So again, if you haven't created a product or an offer, I would definitely encourage you to dive into the help center, learn.kajabi.com, get in there, learn about offers. Offers are incredible. They're super cool. It's really fun to get lost in there. I know Andrea's like shaking her head. Yes, they're so fun. You can do subscription models. You can do free trials. You can do one-time payments. You can do payment plans. Like there's so many things you can do to customize the way that your students and your customers check out on Kajabi. And so that's all done through offers. Do you have anything to add? I'll pause right there. That's a lot.
I do. You could feel me being like,
Yeah.
For all my membership lovers, because I know a lot of you are membership focused like I am, the way that you do this in Kajabi is you can create different facets of your membership as different products. If you have different mini courses or you have like your member dashboard is different than your community, however you want to structure that. And then the offer is actually how you can just bundle all of those together with one recurring monthly payment or annual payment or however you want to do that. So it's a way to sell things separately or together all as one membership offer. I know people ask that. So
yeah, that
super
kind of ties
customizable.
in. That kind of ties in a little bit to like tiers of a membership too. So we have people who do like gold package membership, silver and bronze, and you can kind of like bundle your offers within that with it, which is what I think you were just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many different ways to customize. It's a really cool feature in Kajabi, and not every platform does that kind of or that kind of structure. So definitely interesting to check out if you haven't already.
One more thing that I just will throw in there: if you don't have a digital product yet, you can also make an offer that doesn't attach to a membership or a course or a product either. And so that would be for like one-on-one coaching or coaching packages or something like that that doesn't have anything digital. You can still sell through Kajabi, which is fantastic because you guys don't have extra transaction fees, and it saves all of us a whole lot of money. So
Yeah,
another
that's a
thing that I
good,
love. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good thing to call out because a lot of people will do, you know, a digital product, but a lot of people will do coaching and will do calls and whatever. And now with Kajabi, you have, if you're already running your digital products through there, now you have the ability to just quickly create an offer checkout and create a
Mhm.
link and sell your time, really,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I love that little trick. A lot of people do that. So awesome. So now moving over to the next tab is our marketing tab. So this is where we're going to spend the bulk of our time today. But for now, I'll just highlight. So we have pipelines, which, as Andrea was explaining before, is Kajabi's version of a marketing and sales funnel. So it's a way that you get your customer from A to B, and B being the offer checkout. We also have email campaigns. So yes, Kajabi does do email marketing. You can send email broadcasts. You can send, so a broadcast would be like a newsletter, a one-time announcement, anything that you want to just share with your people. And then you can also send out sequences. So longer form sales sequences, longer form messages, you know, maybe you want to drip out an email every week to a specific group of people and then end up selling, you know, your product to them. That's an awesome way to do that. So email campaigns are a part of Kajabi. We also have automations, which I think that when we introduced automations, that was the game changer for Kajabi, because automations are when, then, if sequencing. So when something happens, or when an action takes place, then do something if a member, you know, has some sort of condition on it. So you can imagine that when, then, if, you can get crazy custom with that. So a great example of this is like when someone subscribes to your email list, then send them this email if they have been a member or purchased a product in the past. So like there's just so many different cool things you can do with that. You can, you know, if someone subscribes to a specific newsletter, then send them a coupon code for a product if they've never purchased from you before. So there's lots of really, really interesting things. Those are just two like random examples. You could get lost in automations. They're super fun, and they make your business really like run on autopilot because things can be happening and firing off at all times once you set it up. The next thing we have is events. So events are like time-based things. So if you want to do a webinar, if you wanted to do a specific launch, those all funnel through events. Events are kind of tied through everything in the marketing tab. And then forms are obviously things that people fill out to get their information. So when they subscribe to your email list, if you needed to do a longer form to get, you know, phone numbers or addresses or whatever, all your form information are going to live there. And I like to share this too, that pipelines kind of wrap up email campaigns, automations, events, and forms all in one. So if you learn how to use a pipeline, you're really learning how to use all the other things within marketing. It's kind of like the culmination of everything under one roof. And again, we'll dive into that. So then last but not least, we have people. This is kind of like your CRM inside of Kajabi. So you can view all of your people. You can segment them out into specific lists. So if you have your, you know, course purchasers and you have your membership purchasers, you have people who have opened emails, people who have, you know, unsubscribed from emails, like, you know, whatever. You can have any type of list. You can segment them the way that you want, all within Kajabi. You can also click within a person on your email list and see kind of the activity feed of what they've interacted with, what they've purchased. You can see the lifespan. You can make notes in there. Really awesome features within our people tab, just to make sure that you're aware of your customers and what they're doing and how they're thinking and behaving. Then next thing is assessment. So these are just like quizzes and surveys. You can put that within a product. You can use it as a lead generator. There's lots of things you can do with assessments. And then affiliates is available on our growth and pro plan. And that is basically the ability for you to have affiliates for your programs. And so that's like a really quick, I know I talk kind of fast, it's like a really quick overview of the 4 main tabs inside of Kajabi and just everything that you can do within Kajabi. I will pause there to take any questions so far, but we are going to go deeper into pipelines in the next segment. So are there any questions?
Yeah. I am going to read through the questions. I was too busy listening to you to be on top of the questions like I said I would. But I love this is so meta because everyone that's here today was signed up for a Kajabi event, got automated emails, and was in a pipeline to get all of the information to get here today. So you guys have already
Without
experienced
even
this.
knowing it.
Yeah, from a customer perspective, you guys were already on it. Okay, Brandy says, what if I have my website on Squarespace, but I've been creating my offers and products in Kajabi? I have my freebie on Squarespace right now that still goes to MailerLite. I set up Zapier to get the email address over to my list in Kajabi. Will I still be able to set up a funnel on that freebie?
Yes. So what was her name again?
Brandy.
Mary? Brandy.
Yeah.
Brandy. So for the website component, I know a lot of people who have existing websites that they've built elsewhere and they house really everything else inside of Kajabi. So, you know, it's maybe as simple as having navigation at the top of your website that when they click into courses or, you know, whatever, learn more, then it gets taken to a Kajabi landing page. So that's totally fine. I think you can operate with a website external from Kajabi really easily if you wanted to house your products and your offers inside of Kajabi. Now, the pipeline step, you will need to have the freebie inside of Kajabi. I think that's the easiest way to do it. I'd be curious to hear what you're selling or what your freebie is. And we can kind of talk through how you would link that here. But maybe it would be helpful just to go over pipelines first. You can get a glimpse of what that looks like from the back end, and then you can kind of make the decision of where you can link out externally or what you can house in Kajabi.
Perfect. So let's do that.
Perfect. So I just went over here to the pipeline section of the marketing tab, and you can see in this account, I have no pipeline, so I'm going to create my first pipeline. Now, here is what Andrea was talking about in the very beginning. This is the best thing about pipelines is that there are templates. Templates are going to save your life when it comes to creating pipelines that are quick, automated, and just work. Yeah. So you can see here we have 7. Is that 7? Yeah, I had to count really quickly. 7 pre-made pipelines. And then we also have a blank pipeline. So this is where you can start from scratch. But again, I would just recommend going with a template because it's the easiest to get up and running really, really quickly. So sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. Yeah, Stripe and PayPal do integrate for payments. So there are 2 payment processors right now. So that's awesome. So anyway, so you have all of these templates. So we can go through, you know, you have your freebie template, which is simply just an opt-in, 1 email, and a thank you page. So this would be like if you were doing, you know, a free PDF resource for the 10 best tips for photographers. Someone would opt in on that opt-in page, go to the email to get their download, and then have a thank you page when they opt in. So that's just like a really, really simple pipeline, something that you wouldn't necessarily use if you were, you know, doing a sales pipeline. So if you wanted to actually for people to purchase your course, you probably wouldn't do this, but this is great for lead generation, great for building your email marketing list. Just a very simple pipeline. Sales page OVO is actually the one that we're going to go over today. So this is an opt-in page where you're offering some sort of value. You have 8 emails, and then all of your emails point to your sales page, which is going to be your sales page for your product. And then people can check out with the offer checkout for that product. So I'm actually just going to create this pipeline. But before I do that, I'll just say there's tons of other, you know, pipelines that you can choose from. The templates, like Andrea mentioned, the Zoom webinar one is the one that you guys actually went through to get onto this webinar. So it's, you know, an opt-in page, confirmation, you have the emails, you have an event, you're probably going to get emails after this event. And then you can lead people to a sales page and a checkout, offer checkout. So lots of different cool things you can do. But like I said, for the purposes of this training, we're going to go over the sales page under the assumption that you've 1, created a product, and 2, created an offer checkout. OVO, good question. Is it Danny? I think it's Danny. Yep. OVO is actually a term coined by Brendan Burchard, who is an awesome online marketer. OVO just means offer, value, or opt-in, value, offer. So I'll say that one more time. Opt-in, value, offer. So it basically just describes what people are doing in this pipeline, right? So they're opting in for something, they're getting value from you out of some, you know, email or download or some sort of value that you're offering right out the gate, and then you're giving them an offer to go deeper with you. So that's just the way that we like to describe it here at Kajabi, but it doesn't really mean like anything. You don't need to like really dive into that too much. It's just the way that we categorize it. But great question. So I'm going to create this pipeline. So you can see here, I can name this pipeline. So I'm going to say my sales pipeline. Of course, you can name this whatever you want. And then this is why I said that you were doing this pipeline under the assumption that you've created both a product and an offer, because you need to actually choose which offer you want to sell when you are creating this pipeline. So I created an offer in this account and I just called it my first offer. So I'm going to click that and then I'm going to click generate pipeline. Bear with me, this might take a second just because my internet's not super great. So this is generating my opt-in page, generating my sales page. It is generating my form. It's generating everything I need. And the beautiful thing about pipelines, I think one of the best things about pipelines is that when you actually select an offer, like you guys just saw me do, now that offer is getting attached everywhere in the email sequence and everywhere in the sales page as the offer checkout. So basically all of your links are already pointing to the right place. You just have to go in and customize, which is really, really awesome.
It's
Anything
so
to add,
good.
Andrea?
It's so good because I know that this really resonates with me because it just tech not working and things not going to the right place is personal frustration. And so I just hate that anyway. But I know that you guys a lot of the time, get really bogged down with like, I don't even know what's supposed to connect to each thing, much less if it's working. So this is another reason why I just love Kajabi because everything just talks to each other. It just works. This is very simple. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. And again, if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the Q&A or even in the chat and I'll answer them as we go. So to give you a high level overview of this sales pipeline, we have an opt-in page at the top. This is just our editor, so it like clearly lays out for you what is happening. You have the opt-in page at the top. You have an 8 email sequence or a email sequence of 8 emails. You have a sales page and then you have an offer checkout. And the beautiful thing about pipelines is that you can customize everything. So you can take things out, you can add things in, you can edit things, you can adjust things. It's all up to you what you want to do. So I'll actually click on these little 3 buttons. If you want to reorder, you can absolutely reorder these pages. If you wanted to, let's click done. If you wanted to add something, so you can add a page here, you can add a page there, again, reorder anything. Like these are totally built to what you need them to do. But as you can see, it starts with an opt-in. We go to the email sequences, we go to the sales page, and then we go to the checkout. So I'll actually start, let me reload this. It looks like something is, I want to make sure that this is working. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So I'm going into the opt-in page first because that's the first step in our pipeline. And basically, like I said, opt-in value offer. So your opt-in is going to say, you know, what are you opting in for? What are you asking them to give you their name and email for? What value are you delivering to them? So this is just a simple landing page within Kajabi and everything here is editable. So if you click into this, you can go over to this side, edit the message, edit this. You can edit the form. You can add different items to the form if you wanted to get their, you know, phone number or their address or any other information from them. You can edit the form to be whatever you want. You can obviously edit the colors. You can edit the background. You can even add sections. So again, this is just a landing page. So you can add any section that comes within our landing page editor. You can add it right here. You can make this a long form opt-in page. You can make it even shorter. You can add a video. You can add, you know, images. You can add an offer if you wanted to. You can add FAQs. You can just like literally click on all of these and there's endless possibilities with what this opt-in page could look like. You can add multi-videos. This is a really cool thing where you could have videos that unlock certain things. You can add a countdown. You can add text, like literally anything under the sun you can add to this page. For today's purposes, I'm just going to keep it very simple and not anything. But if you haven't checked out our landing page builder, again, go to learn.kajabi.com and you can go dive into some help articles of how to, you know, customize these landing pages. It's really simple. Once you get started, you'll have so much fun customizing it. But this is just an opt-in page for our value that we're delivering. So you'll describe what you're giving to them, why they want to opt in, and then you collect their name and email. Now, once you do that, it triggers off this next step in the pipeline, which you can see over here, which is the email sequence. I'm going to leave. It's telling me not to leave because I edited it, but I'm going to. So now we're going into our email sequences. So my sales pipeline email sequence, you can see up here that the way that someone subscribes to this email sequence is by one trigger, and it's when the form is submitted on that previous page. So that form that we saw with the name and email, when someone submits that, then they get added to this sequence. And again, that's just an automation, but with pipelines, it's all set up for you. So you didn't have to go in and do that automation yourself. It was just built within the pipeline, but I'm just showing you here so you have that context of what's happening. You can also set unsubscribe triggers. So, you know, if someone has already purchased this product, then we don't want them to get this email sequence. Maybe you add that as an automation. You can get as complex or as simple as you want for these purposes. Again, I'm just going to keep it very simple. So you can see here that the sales page pipeline built out 8 emails that it's going to send. And each email has, I would call them prompts or suggestions of what you would want to say within that email. So this is all just based on best practices provided by Brendon Burchard and by other experts in the field of what do you want these 8 emails to say? Why 8 emails? You know, this is kind of what industry standard is. So you can see email number 1, if you click into it, you'll be able to edit it. And it actually has text for you to try to help prompt what you want to say. So your goal, tell your audience why you created the program you created. Send them to a website with a video on it selling your course. This is the first reveal of what the full course for sale is now. I'd like you to tell a story. It's about why I do what I do, why I'd like to help you achieve, you know, X, Y, and Z. Now, in 4 to 6 sentences, describe the reason you decided to help people in your topic area. Again, these are all just prompts or best practices to kind of get your brain moving on, okay, what am I trying to say to these people in this moment? And then the cool thing is this link, again, is already hyperlinked to the right place in the pipeline. So it's going to take them to the sales page, which is happening at the next step of the pipeline. So all of these links are already filled in for you. You just basically have to go in and customize the text to say what you want to say to your specific audience and then save it, and it's ready.
It's like Mad Libs that make you money. What?
I love that. I've never heard it described as that. I love that. Danny said, OMG, this is gold. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are getting so much out of this. Like, please, again, let me know if you have questions. Sometimes I forget that I've seen this a million times and other people are learning it for the first time. So I want to make sure I go over everything, and it's a lot to take in. So please tell me to slow down if I need to, or Andrea, let me know if people are lost.
It's fantastic. Okay. Well, this kind of was born from, like I said, I do for people that sign up through my Kajabi partner link, I do ongoing office hours. Like once a month, we just jump on, I answer any questions you have on Zoom like this. And we were going over pipelines, and I had people, you know, on the call that had been Kajabi members for a long time that had never like even explored the pipelines. And we were kind of doing this in real time. They were like, what? It tells you what to say in the email. So then that's when I was like, light bulb moment. We should probably go deeper into the pipelines. Okay. Sierra has a question. I know the answer to this is yes, but can you just expand a little bit? If you have an existing opt-in page, sales page, etc., is there a way to link them in the pipeline without starting from scratch?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So I can go over that when I go back.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, it's all customizable, so you can add things and take things out. I wanted to actually point this out up here. There's an add new email button. So if you're like, I don't want to send 8 emails, I want to send 10 emails, or I don't want to send 8 emails, I want to send 4 emails. You can totally do that within here. You can also check out reports and subscribers, and this will take you out to those places within the app. So I kind of mentioned this before, but like pipelines, again, is just tying together all of the pieces of Kajabi that's already there for you. So of course, if you have something already built, you can add that in here as well. So I want to go through really quickly. Again, this is just more suggestion of what to put. Again, this is hyperlinked out to the next step in the pipeline, which is your sales page. And everything in these emails is pointing to that sales page. Everything is going through and saying, here's why I built this program. Here's why it's important for you. Here's the value you're going to get from it. And you can even see here, you know, Brendon shares in email number 4, you should do an FAQ. In email number 5, you should do a 72-hour warning or a 48-hour warning, a personal plea of like why I know you need this program or why I know this is going to transform, you know, this area of your life. And then a last call, which is like a closing cart email. And again, all of those have prompts within them. So I'll go back to the pipeline overview, and I will add in a page So you can see here, sorry, I'll do that again because it was kind of quick. So you can see if I hover over here, it says add page. I'm going to click that. And right here, you can see new landing page or existing landing page. So this is to answer that question. You just click existing landing page, go to next, and then you choose your page. And it'll have a drop down. I don't think I have any. Oh, there we go. I have some pages in here, but you'll see it'll be the name that you named it when you created the landing page, and you just click that and then press save and it'll add it in there. Or you can do a new landing page and you can choose from templates of what kind of page do you want it to be. I want it to be a video page. And then you can choose what kind of, outline you want or what kind of look you want. And you can click into that and add it to the page. And then you can customize it as well. So that's kind of how you do that section. I hope that answers that question. How do I get out of here now? Why isn't it letting me get out? Okay. All right, let's just add a page then. We'll go through the whole process. I feel like with Zoom, I can never tell where like the exit buttons are.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Next. So we're adding the page in.
Yeah, we sure are.
Applying the secret sauce. I love these little messages. They're always like one of them says or an intern spilled coffee on the servers or something like that, and it's funny. So you can see here I added that page right there. I'm going to delete it for now so that we don't have that messing us up. But yes, you can add any page and then you can reorder them however you want. Beautiful. So we went through the opt-in page. They opt in to deliver the value. They get subscribed to this email sequence, and you go through 8 emails telling them why they need your program, why it's important for them, what the time limit is on it, what are some questions that you can answer, all of it linking back to the next step in your pipeline, which is your sales page. I'm going to click in here. Again, this is just like a landing page. It is the same landing page editor that we have in the main section of the app. You can see it looks just like the opt-in page, but it has way more details. So this is your
it's more Mad Libs that make you money. I love it. It just tells you exactly what to put in each section. It's so good.
Exactly. So what's your offer title? What's the product called? Describe your offer and the value it'll bring to your customers. Maybe you want to add a sales video, your call to action, which again, already has included. You can see here the button action is the next step in your pipeline. The next step in your pipeline is your offer checkout. So this button already links to the checkout for them to buy your course. So it's like you don't even have to worry that it's going to go to the wrong place. Just if you create the pipeline, it's ready to go. You just got to edit it. Yep. Again, benefit number 1, describe the benefit of your service. Benefit number 2, describe another benefit. Maybe you have a testimonial you want to put in. And again, offer title, describe what it's bringing and your call to action. And you can add, take away, enhance anything on this page, same as the normal landing page. It's your sales page for your offer. Now, the last step is obviously your offer checkout. So at the very beginning of creating this pipeline, I added this offer, my first offer, to the pipeline. And this links out to my mini course. And so this is the offer that I'm selling. You can actually click in here and edit your checkout directly on this pipeline page. So this is what my checkout looks like. It's selling my first offer. Again, those Mad Libs that you just fill in that make you money. Insert call to action statement that will encourage customers to purchase. Here's what you get, value 1, 2, 3, add any disclaimers you want. This offer is free because I haven't connected Stripe or PayPal on this account, but you can add obviously your price and then all the information here for them to check out. And fun little thing that I'll add here just because it's right in front of me and it's one of my favorite things in Kajabi. You'll see over here, there's this thing called an order bump. Now, how many of you have been at the grocery store and you have all your groceries and you're in the checkout line and you see that People magazine just sitting right there on the checkout, looking at you, staring at you, telling you that you need to keep up with the Kardashians, and you grab it and you put it in your cart because you just can't resist it? That's happened to me. Yeah, Reagan said, haha, yes, I love it. Yeah, it's happened to me many times. And that's exactly what an order bump is, but for your online business. So it's those last little things right at the checkout that you want to throw in that are going to add value or add some sort of benefit to them for an additional cost. And it's literally, I will show you, it's like 3 clicks inside of Kajabi and you can have it done. So it's order bump. You choose an offer. So a great example of an order bump offer would be like if you're selling your online course and your order bump is a 30-minute coaching call with you in addition to the course, right? So you would just create an offer that's 30-minute coaching call, price it accordingly. So maybe it's the course is $50 or the course is $100 and the extra coaching call is $25. And now instead of someone just purchasing the course for $100, they literally click a button. It'll look similar to this. They just click a little check button. Yeah, I want to add a coaching call for $25. And now you've upsold them into a $125 offer as opposed to just a $100 offer. So I would highly, highly, highly encourage you, if you're not using order bumps, think of something you can add as just that little extra value on top right at the checkout. They're already in that purchasing mode. They already have their credit card out ready to give you money. So give them that one little additional offer. And I promise you, it'll blow you away how well it works. I had one customer tell me that she added an order bump on their checkout and they increased their sales by $1,000 in one launch just by adding an order bump for something that was like, I think, $10, $15.
I was just going to say that I just, before we jumped on here, I looked at, I just started experimenting with an order bump a few months ago, and I have a $37 mini course that I just was like, hey, let's see if this works. And I think I've made almost $1,400 just on that little order bump. That's just like free money that came out of nowhere because I just offered it and it's just there.
Yeah. And it's so easy to add in Kajabi, and it looks really, really clean. It literally
looks great.
Just like this. And then Brandy, I know you said, can I only have one order bump at the checkout? Yes. You can only have one order bump, but I would really, really highly encourage you to look into upsells after an order bump. So an order bump is basically an upsell before they purchase, whereas an upsell is where you give them something additional after they purchase. So it's like, hey, thanks for purchasing this course, but now I want to talk about this other thing that I have that maybe you'd be interested in as well. So one order bump, but then as many upsells as you want after they've already purchased from you. Is really, it's a good way to market to them. I know it's a really popular strategy. So yeah, that's the offer checkout. Again, customizable. This is just a very simple thing that I created today. Literally took me 5 minutes to do. And then that's your pipeline. So you have your opt-in page where you're getting their name and email. They're subscribing to this email sequence where you're delivering 8 emails of value, sharing them your why, sharing with them why they need your program, how you built it, questions they might have, the details of the offer, leading them to your sales page where you're additionally giving them more benefits, more resources, more reasons to believe that they need to have your product. And then you're sending them to an offer checkout with hopefully an order bump. And that's a pipeline. And that's how you generate sales. I'll just do one more overview of something so that you guys know where to see everything. But that's basically how you're going to take this crazy, amazing product that you've built inside of Kajabi and deliver it to people. This is like, I always recommend people go to pipeline first. Like, don't get lost in all the other things that Kajabi has to offer. Pipelines literally do everything for you. And it's everything Kajabi has wrapped into one beautiful systematized approach. And so 2 quick housekeeping notes. One, you'll notice this blueprint checklist. This is basically just to help you understand what have you edited and what's ready to go. So you can see here, I haven't edited my opt-in page, so I need to do that. I haven't edited my sales page, and then I can share my pipeline. So it's just kind of like a checklist reminding you, like, hey, these are the things you haven't edited yet, and we have filler copy on there, so we want to make sure you edit them before you go live. It's kind of like a good, okay, mental check. I haven't actually done this yet. And it'll do a little check mark when you have edited it. So that's the checklist over there. And then the view stats is really helpful for you to understand the performance of your pipeline. So you can see conversion rates, you can see total revenue generated from the pipeline, you can see revenue per view. Wow, I've never had so much trouble talking in my life. Oh, okay. You guys get it. You can read it there. You can also see pages, which shows you your view counts, your conversion rates, and your sales rates for each individual page. So your opt-in page, your sales page, and your offer page. And then you can also see email sequences. So when you add or take away, this will get edited, but all of the emails that you have in there, it'll tell you how many people it got sent to, how many opens you have, and how many clicks you have per those emails. So this is just like a good way to just track and make sure that you're actually making some good progress with this. And then, once you built your pipeline and get some people through it and get some sales through it, you can then start to go through these analytics and really dive into like, okay, where can I refine this? Maybe you have a lot of opt-ins, but not a lot of people view your sales page. So it's like, okay, how do I reconcile that with the emails that I'm sending? How can I make this a little bit more enticing? Or maybe you have a lot of sales page views, but not a lot of people have actually purchased your offer. So what's something you can add to the sales page to make sure you have that conversion, what's something you can add to the offer page to make sure you have that conversion. There's lots of good little tweaks you can do there by the data that we're giving you here. And then obviously, how do you share this pipeline? You copy your link. You just press copy link and you have a link to your pipeline. And one little tiny thing, it's really not that cool, but I think it's the coolest thing, is that that link will go to the first step in your pipeline, no matter what it is. So this page right now is our first step in the pipeline, but let's say you reorder things and you kind of have a new, a new format you want to follow. If that link out there in the wild in some, in some page or in some email or on your social post or whatever, it will always go to the first step in the pipeline. It's not directly associated with this page. So that's kind of cool, right? So as you edit, as you refine, as you, redo things, it will always work. That link will always be available and not breaking, which is our goal at Kajabi, to make sure your business is never breaking. So that, again, that's just like a little thing that I think is cool, that if you reorder pages, that link will still work.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so useful. This is a good tee up for Danny's question. She says, so when you have this link out somewhere, it looks like this is the main page of your website, trying to wrap my head around this. And then a follow-up question is, when people go to landing pages, can they navigate the rest of the website? She is a Kajabi user, but she's hired it out to a VA to do a lot of this. And she's like, I want to understand.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily think of pipelines as the same thing as your website. Because these are just landing pages. So think of your website as like the one-stop shop for all things you, right? It should have like your About Me page. It should have information about your services and your offers. It should have everything. Whereas the pipeline is much more narrowly focused, right? So when you're sending them to this first page of the pipeline to opt into your sequence, like you're sending them to get them to convert, right? This is a sales pipeline. It's not a website where they're going to get to know you more, or an introduction to you, or an introduction to your course. This is like sending them to this pipeline is the real deal, getting them started on their business journey. And I'd also like to caution you that with these nuances, like you don't necessarily need a website. I know that's controversial. I know that's like,
we love controversial around here, Allie. Go. We love it.
But like at the end of the day, I've had so many Kajabi heroes tell me, like, Allie, the first thing I did in Kajabi is I built an offer checkout and I sold it. Like I didn't do anything else. We had one lady in our official Kajabi meetups that we host once every cycle. And she told me, I haven't even touched landing pages. I just created an offer and created a product and sold it. And I made 30 grand, $30,000 in her first launch without a landing page, without a website. And so I think it's about really understanding what your people want. If your customers are on social media and they are like wanting what you're offering, they're wanting your products, like what's the purpose of sending them to a website when you could just send them directly to the thing that's going to get them to the transformation? And that's how I see pipelines. And so it's kind of like a different philosophy if you look at it that way. But of course, your website can still add value. Your website can still point to your products. Maybe there's a link on your website that gets people enrolled to this pipeline. I think that's a good outlook. But I wouldn't necessarily say that the two are joined at the hip. I think that they're kind of two separate philosophies.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense or answers the question.
I think it totally answers the question, and I love it. I love this kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning about just the one thing. So your pipeline is just like taking them from kind of interested to the one thing you want them to do. Your website as a whole is you as a brand, but your pipeline is like the one product you want them to buy, or the one consult call you want them to book with you, or the one membership you want them to sign up for, whatever that is. And it's bringing them along every step of the way and systematically overcoming objections. And I think that I would say for for making a sales page, for making your checkout page, because you can totally customize that. You can kind of make your checkout page into a sales page with some bullet points, and just have that checkout page kind of be your sales page. Pro tip. But what you want to put on there is you just want to put yourself in the mindset of your prospective customer and just think like, what would stop someone from buying this? Like, what would stop someone from signing up with me? What would stop someone from this? Make a list. And then you just want to make sure in those emails and in your copy somewhere that you're addressing those objections. That's a great place to start. It's just like, how can I help someone understand a little bit better how to overcome this obstacle that might be the reason they wouldn't sign up? Start there. And I guarantee you will just surprise yourself by how easy this can actually be, especially when every step talks to each other and it just all works. It's seamless, totally seamless. I'm
Yeah.
obviously a
Yeah.
Kajabi prophet because I have, and I think I've told Allie this too, and you guys probably know, I've used so many other tech platforms before this that were all cobbled together and just like not working all the time. It was so frustrating. So when I found Kajabi and it all just worked, I had to tell everybody. So that's
Yeah,
where
I
we are
appreciate
today.
that. I also like just want to share with everyone here, like I think entrepreneurs in general, like we tend to get so bogged down in the details and so overwhelmed. Like I will be totally transparent, there are probably 50 other things you could do in Kajabi that we didn't even talk about, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that. And that can be so daunting and so overwhelming that I have a lot of people who tell me, like, I just didn't start. Like, I just didn't do anything because I didn't know where to get my first foot in the door, you know? And I think what's most important is to think about the outcomes you want. So if the thing that you want is you need to make money for your family, or you need to, you know, provide by being financially, you know, in the positive, ROI positive on Kajabi, then is a website going to accomplish that? Or is a product and an offer checkout and a pipeline talking to your prospect gonna accomplish that? Or maybe you're rebranding and you need to reintroduce yourself to your customer base, and you need to rehab that conversation. Maybe a website is the better option for you to start out with. But I think it's about getting really clear on what the intended outcome is. And if your intended outcome is to make money, then you're gonna need to go with a sales pipeline far before any of the brand things that you need to do, like a website or, you know, anything like that. I think that's just where you have to get really clear about things, and not bog down, right? Like just start with one simple thing. I love the way that you said of like, what's the intended outcome of your prospect? Like, what's the one thing you need them to do, and how can you get them to do that in a sales pipeline? And I think it's just starting there, and then you can expand, right? Like, you don't have to have these things overnight. At Kajabi, we certainly didn't have these things overnight. You know, even as a software company, we just focused on one little thing at a time, and slowly but surely got better. And you don't need to build your online business overnight. You could have a successful launch, like my example from the Meetup. She had a $30,000 launch with just a sales page and an offer checkout. And now she can go in, tweak that, make it better, add a website, add some email sequences. Like, she can get better and start, you know, adding those things on top. But she proved out the value of it. She got her first major win, and now it's just about iterating. And I think that's when it becomes fun, when you don't have to worry about the outcome. You don't have to worry if you're going to make a sale. You just get to have fun with tweaking and building and making your business better step by step.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think that's so well said. I'm so excited, you guys, to play around with this. Okay. I want to be, I just looked at the time. I want to be conscious of your time, Allie. So I'm going to wrap this up,
Yeah.
you guys. There's still some good questions about upsells and order bumps and sample pipelines. I'm qualified enough to talk about that stuff. So I'm going to just say one more time, I do these office hours once a month where we just jump on Zoom and you guys bring all of your marketing questions, like how to do the order bumps, how to set that up, very specific to your business. And if you are, I know most of you asking these questions have already signed up through my link, but for anyone that's watching this recording in the future, that is just a benefit of signing up through my partner link. It's a thank you from me to you. Like, let me help you. I think Kajabi is amazing. I'm happy to talk all things order bumps and one-click upsells and pipelines and Zoom webinars and all of that stuff all the time. So you somewhere on this page have a link. If you haven't started your free trial yet, sign up through my link. I would appreciate it. And you get some extra bonuses like that from me. And those would be questions that we should answer on the next office hours. So
Yeah. And
thank
I
you.
want to know just really quickly in the chat, like, for those of you who are Kajabi users, and even those of you who were thinking of joining Kajabi, like, was this helpful? Did you learn something that maybe you didn't know Kajabi did? As a marketing team, we're always wanting to lean in and listen to our customers, and you know, we want to provide you with resources you need. And so if you're a Kajabi user and you learned something here that you didn't know before, I'd love to know in the chat so we can continue to create resources for you to go deeper with the platform. Because again, I say it once, I say it all the time, like, it is such a big, robust platform. I know there are a lot of ways you can get, you know, lost in it, but we're here to help you. I always use this example that even our chief product officer at one point had to learn how to use Kajabi, right? Like, people aren't naturally born with like this ability. We don't come out as babies with this ability to understand software. Maybe a genius does, but even the highest ranking engineer at our company had to learn how to use Kajabi slowly but surely. And so don't get overwhelmed with the tech, break it down, make it really simple, and let us know how we can continue to support you, because really your success is all we're looking for. That's how we know that we're successful, if we empower entrepreneurs to have the businesses of their dreams. So I'm just so happy that I was able to come here today and share this with you guys, and jump on those office hours with Andrea, because she's clearly like so intelligent about what's going on, not just at Kajabi, but like in the online space in general. And to just be able to like ask questions and be there with that open conversation, like I want to join those. Like that sounds awesome.
Thank you. You're the best. Okay. So I'm loving this. We're getting a lot of, yes, this was very helpful. I use other platforms, wondering how it all worked. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. You're the best.
Yeah, that makes me so happy. I love the Lane said, yeah, it was super helpful. I didn't know how easy the pipelines were. I was focused on creating the website part inside of Kajabi. Now I know I need to focus on the pipeline. Yes, I love that. And also, just for any of you who are Kajabi users, in addition to Andrea's office hours, we do have, like I mentioned before, virtual meetups. We're actually hosting virtual meetups next week. So you'll get an email from us sometime this week if you want to join virtual meetups. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. A virtual meetup is just a bunch of Kajabi users on an open Zoom call where you guys get to network with one another and ask questions and go deeper, whether it's strategic or it's tech or whatever. It's literally your time to connect with other Kajabi users like Andrea. So please, 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 if you're looking to network with other users, join a meetup and ask the questions that you want to ask, because there's nothing more valuable than connecting with other entrepreneurs. I've seen it time and time again. It unlocks things for people. And so we want to provide that community for you guys.
Yes. And you guys do such a good job of it. And the Kajabi customer service is second to none when you get stuck on anything whatsoever. And I know that a lot of you guys that are here, I know you've used the customer service. It's like, they're so helpful. They actually help. It's so good. But how do I keep forgetting to say this? Through the link, you get 28-day free trial, comes with a challenge where you're going to get daily emails on what to do, like little bite-sized chunks every single day to walk you through setting this stuff up too. So all the resources are there. Obviously, we're very excited about Kajabi and want you all to use it because it will simplify your life so much. I think that we've done that today. Like, high five, Allie. Yeah. We did it.
All the way from Tennessee and Irvine, California.
That's right.
I love it.
Oh, the internet's a beautiful thing. All right, you guys, thank you for coming in. Allie, thank you so much for teaching us today. We loved it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Goodbye, you guys.
Bye, guys.